Home with Shyla. I'm going to talk about my daughter and her diabetes. So, my daughter's 4 and she was diagnosed with diabetes September the 3rd of 2019. It's been a road, but not too bad. At first, it's terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, it is. I mean, some days I still really struggle with fear about it, but I'll just let you know how it got started. So, she was 3 at the time, and she was really thirsty, so thirsty, and grouchy, like not troublesome threes or terrible threes or what they say, but like awful, just awful, like scream, drop to the ground for long periods of time. She had stomach problems, her stomach hurt, and then she'd be hungry all the time, and she had to pee constantly. So in the middle of the night, she'd wake up crying and she had to pee and she was thirsty. And that happened to start in the summer, I think. That's hard to tell if it was summer or really if it was just more like, well, probably August. Probably happened the end of August. And well, my mom, I remember one day we were talking before and just about diabetes. I don't know how it came up, but we were just talking. And I remember her telling me about sometimes people who have diabetes get really thirsty. And so I thought, well, you know what? I'm just gonna try it. We're at my mother-in-law's house. She has a glucose monitor. And so we checked her sugars and they wouldn't read. And so we thought, well, maybe it's broken. That's what I wanted to hope, of course. That's what every mother is like, oh, it's not working, it's not working. I mean, so we tested it on my mother-in-law and it worked, and then we tested it on her and it didn't work. So we ended up having to go to the hospital, and they checked her sugars. Of course, it didn't read, it was too high, and then they did a blood test and her sugars were 41. So for the Canadians, our sugar, the way we do it, is 7 is heaven. Between 5 and 10 is pretty good for kids. It's like, well, that's what you're supposed to be. 7's heaven. 41 is awful. It's chances going to DK, I think it's called, DKA. I don't remember the name. Basically, you start losing body fat, you're releasing ketones, and it can shut down your body. It's scary and dangerous. You can die. But we caught it before then, so that's great. Anyway, so we obviously got a diagnosis at the hospital that she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and no one in our family, like close family, has diabetes. My husband's cousin does, and there's no correlation, the doctors say. It can just happen. So basically she got sick and her body attacked itself and attacked its pancreas and killed the pancreas. So our journey started September the 3rd of diabetes. At first, it was, like I said, very scary. I was scared that she was not gonna wake up because she's gonna go into sugar low, or like the needles were heartbreaking. She would, at first, when my husband went to give her to her, she'd cry and say, "Daddy, don't hurt me, don't hurt me." And it was just like so emotional. I'm already getting emotional just thinking about it. Anyway, now she's a champ. She doesn't mind at all. She likes 3 spots, which is her hips, and top of her butt cheeks, and her thighs. Those are her favorite chubbies, as she calls it, the chubbies. And it doesn't seem to hurt that much, only if you get a needle with like a little hook on it, then you can tell there's resistance, and that one hurts. We had to learn a lot. There's carb counting. It's not like type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is based on sugar, which of course type 1 is also sugar, but really it's carbs. So there's a lot of carbs in, say, bread or Kraft Dinner or pasta especially. Some fruit, everything has pretty much carbs except for meat and cheese. And so and like lettuce, you know, greens. So you can't live off that. And actually diabetics need carbs in order to survive. So now we carb count, and she is getting about 5 to 6 needles a day. We're hoping to transition to a pump soon. And yeah, like doesn't seem like there's a lot of, there's a lot of people that have children with diabetes, but there's not a lot of things I can find, I guess. I'm sure there are lots of help groups out there. I just haven't found them, and honestly, I'm not sure if I searched hard enough to really say that there is a lot or not a lot. I just want to let you know that if your child has diabetes, it will be okay. They learn to live with it, basically. And it's something that I am passionate about, is the fact that she has diabetes. Diabetes is not her. So she can still do everything else a child can do. She just has diabetes. So there's just a couple extra precautions you take. She can swim all day long. Just eat a few more grapes. Just keep an eye on the sugars. There's just, yeah, I don't want you thinking that your child now has diabetes, their life is going to be different from everybody else's life. It will change, but they are still a child. They can still do everything else a child can do. Sorry, realize I'm saying a lot. I'm going to try and cut that out. So, I don't know. I just felt like making this video to let you know you're not alone. And if you need support, I am here. And I've had a couple scares. I've had times where my daughter, she went into a low this summer, almost passed out. It was terrifying. And you know what helps? What is that called? Corn syrup? Yeah, corn syrup. Corn syrup is like a miracle worker. Just a couple tablespoons of that and your sugars just spike right back up. Anyway, I hope you spread joy today, and I hope that my video brought you some peace and just letting you know you have a friend. Bye-bye.